Hello, my name's Kaylin Huntress. I'm the Director of Virtual Training for eSpeakers, and I want to talk to you today about how engaged your participants are in your virtual meetings. Zoom fatigue is one of the biggest difficulties that we have to contend with as virtual presenters. And not everybody comes into the meeting with the same level of engagement. The good news is you can manipulate how engaged your participants are. They might come in at one level of engagement and leave at a completely different level of engagement. And that distance between the two, that's up to you. I'll share with you a 3-minute excerpt from a recent workshop that I taught for the virtual host certification, where I talk about the different levels that people go through during a virtual meeting. There's this ladder that people go through where they're either just listening to you, they're passive, they're paying attention, and this can go better or worse. They could be reacting to what you do and responding to your invitations, or they could be distracted and ignoring you. And people naturally descend this ladder. Over time, if you don't ask for responses, if you don't incite reactions, then the natural progression is to become distracted and start ignoring. Now, this can go very bad to where people are actually destructive and they're sabotaging your meeting. But it can also go really good, where people are proactive, where they're contributing to your conversation. The way that you ask people to ascend this ladder is by asking people to respond and contribute. It's a lot harder to ignore a dialogue than it is a monologue. When somebody's presenting with a monologue, you can just tune out. But if there's a dialogue happening, if you're participating, your attention is demanded and it's encouraged. There was a study done by the Harvard Business Review, and they found that 90% of people admit to daydreaming during meetings, and that 73% of people admit to doing other work. So that means it's statistically likely that some of you are doing something else right now. And some speakers combat this by saying, well, put away your other screens and turn your phone on silent and close your other tabs and bring me full screen. And I don't do that. I know that highly addictive social media technology is one click away from my presentation. So I have to find a way to be more entertaining and more compelling than your Facebook feed and your email notifications. And if I can't do that, maybe I don't deserve your attention. And by challenging myself that way, it makes me look at every minute of my presentation in terms of, do I deserve their attention? Am I asking them to contribute? Am I enabling them to connect? So that excerpt was mostly presentation, but there's a lot of interaction during the virtual host certification workshop. And I'm sharing some videos from excerpts from that workshop on the eSpeakers YouTube channel. And so you can review some of those other videos to see what some of those interactive activities are like. And when people go through this 2-day workshop, the results have been fantastic. Professional speakers that have been presenting online for years are leveling up their Zoom skills. They're finding the new ways to keep an audience engaged and interactive. Because if you're presenting online, the only way to be sure that you have your audience's attention is to invite them to contribute. So I have a lot of interactive activities that I'm going to put in the link to this video. There's a virtual host checklist that goes through a bunch of games and activities that you can use in your next virtual meeting. And if you'd like to level up your Zoom presentation skills and get to the point where you can really keep an audience's attention by becoming a certified virtual host, then join us in one of our upcoming workshops. I'll see you around the internet.